Hello, everyone. Welcome. We'll get started. I'll just give it another minute or two, just in case anybody else joins us. But thank you for joining me today. It's great to have you all with me. Happy Wednesday. All right. Thanks, Leanne. That was a lovely message. Thank you. I'm glad you're feeling good. All right. Let's give it one more minute. You can get yourself all set up. Roll out your mat and grab any props that you'd like to have handy around you. And this is our last Wednesday, before our holiday break. So today is our last Wednesday, and Friday will be our last Friday before we take our little holiday break, and then we're back again. I believe it's January 11th, beginning in the new year. So if I don't see you on Friday, this will be the last time we practice together this year, and then I look forward to practicing again with you next year. So let's get ourselves started. So taking yourself to your mat or whatever it is you're practicing on. And of course, we've all been together before, so you know the drill. Have any props around you that you'd like to have handy. And let's get ourselves slowly started. So let's come down to a child's pose to begin today. Come on down in the easiest way possible and prop yourself up in your child's pose, either with a pillow behind your knees or a pillow underneath your knees or a pillow underneath your forehead or anything soft. Knees are as wide or as narrow as you like. Bringing the hips towards the heels and then bending the weight of your body forward. And feel free to adjust if you want to bring your body a little bit further forward. If there's some tension in the back of the body, you can go ahead and do so, or come to a seated position. Just finding a place to begin your practice today, whether it's in child's pose or any other resting pose you choose to take. Just taking a moment to anchor the weight of our body down. Noticing if we can begin to feel the breath moving into the back ribs, expanding. And as you settle your body here, let's begin from a place of gratitude for the body, even thinking the words thank you, thank you, thank you. Beginning here in this place before we really start to move our body. Starting from that place of gratitude, appreciation for the body. And then whatever our body shows us today, whatever our body is teaching us or trying to share with us, we can be grateful for it. And sometimes that means our practice needs to be a little bit more gentle on our body. Sometimes it means exploring new poses or shapes in our bodies that we haven't before, that challenge us. But allowing yourself to stay present with how the body shows up and what the body is telling you and teaching you and responding with gratitude. This can help to support us to release any expectations we have on the body. Whatever shows up, responding with gratitude. Our bodies are smarter than we think they are. They're always teaching us. That will be your greatest teacher today. So take another deep breath in through the nose and out, allowing your eyes to open, a nice soft focus for the eyes. Slowly start to walk your hands towards the right side, finding some length in your left side waist. Take a moment there, breathing your hips back. If you're in a seated position, you'll just simply walk to rotate your spine, finding a gentle twist there. Coming back through the center, walk the hands to the left side, lengthening the right side waist. Once you find that length in the side waist, then see if you can find a little bit more settling, so grounding. Instead of thinking of reaching further forward, further towards the left side, once you're there, just start to think of releasing down. And then nice and slowly come back to center. From here, take your hands behind you. Reach your fingertips away from your body, and you can stay with that or connect the palms, maybe interlacing the fingers, or you can hook the thumbs, or you can feel free to hold on to your strap or your towel today between your hands. Lifting the hands gently away from the body, and sometimes I just gently like to send my weight a little bit further forward, letting the hands move towards the front of the body. And then nice and slowly letting that go. Coming up to your hands and your knees, tabletop position, wrists under shoulders and knees under hips, and move through some cats and cows here. So inhale, lift your heart, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin. Inhale, lift the heart, arch the back. And exhale, round, and a few more rounds of these cats and cows. Establishing that breath, connecting to the movement. Taking a little bit more time with your breath, really exploring the full length of your spine. Good. Now we'll gently come back to a nice neutral spine. Tuck your right toes back behind you and send your right leg back. Staying with that, or if you'd like, gently lift your right leg up to about hip height. Pressing through your heel, you can stay with that or bend your right knee, heel towards your glute, and then start to think of pressing the bottom of your foot up towards the ceiling. Take a moment. If you'd like, start to extend your left arm forward. Good. Now from here, we'll bend our left elbow into cactus position. So bending that left elbow, palm down, and then start to bend or pull your right knee towards the side, similar position. So we're rotating open. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see. Bent elbow, bent knee. Take another breath there. Good, and then extend the arm forward and the leg back. Slowly release the left hand, release the right knee. Tuck the left toes back behind you and send the left leg back. Stay with that or lift your left leg up to about hip height and bend that left knee. From there, start to think of pressing the bottom of your foot up towards the ceiling. Keep your core engaged there. So it's tempting to sort of sink into the low back. Dip the low belly up and in to find that support for your low back. If you'd like from there, reach your right arm forward. Now from there, we'll bend our right elbow, taking your right arm towards the side in this cactus position, and then pull your left knee towards the left side, opening up, almost like a little dog, right? Peeing on a hydrant. Good. Another moment. And then extend the arm, extend the leg, release the hand, release the knee. Take an inhale, lift your heart, arch your back. And as you exhale, round your back, tuck your chin. Coming back to a nice neutral spine, walk your hands forward. Drop your chest between the shoulders as you lengthen your spine, allowing your chest to fall nice and heavy. Anchor into your breath. Nice, full, easy breath here. Good. And then we'll bring ourselves back up through to our tabletop position. Now from here, tuck your right toes back behind you and send your right leg back again. Stay with that or lift your right leg up. Maybe bend your right knee. If you'd like, lengthen your left arm forward. And then we'll reach that left arm back as if it's reaching back towards that foot. Stay with that or grab hold of the top of your foot or use a strap or towel between your hand and your foot to lengthen your arm if you'd like. And then start to press the foot into the hand as you open up the front of that right quad. Breathe. Release, extending arm, extending leg, release the hand, release the knee. Tuck the left toes back behind you, send your left leg back. Stay there or lift your left leg. Maybe bend your left knee. Maybe reach your right arm forward. And then from there, reaching that right arm back, stay with that, or maybe grab hold of that foot with your hand or a strap and start to press the foot into the hand. So really actively using that leg to open up your left quad, your left hip flexor. Breathing here. And then we'll release, extend arm, extend leg, release the hand, release the knee, and move into some cats and cows. Inhale, lift the heart, arch the back. Exhale, round the back, tuck the chin. If you feel your spine a little bit there, a little sticky after those, it is a gentle back bend, so you may find your spine's a little sticky. That's okay. Just opening up into the beginning of our practice. Good. Let's take one more. Good. And then from there, finding a neutral spine, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, and move into a downward facing dog. Pressing into your palms as you lengthen your spine here. Feel free to have as much of a bend into your knees as you like. The heels do not need to be down. Feel free to add some movement, maybe bend into one knee and the other, pedaling out through your feet. If you want to modify your down dogs at any point, you could lower your knees down, reach your arms forward and lengthen in a puppy pose, or you can come down to your hands and your knees. If you feel that pressure into your wrist at any point, you can always take that pressure out. Take another deep breath here. Good. Now from this down dog, let's pull ourselves forward into a plank, lengthening your spine. Press your shoulder blades away from each other. And feel free to modify your plank by lowering your knees down, or your forearms and your knees. Being really grateful for however your body shows up today. So if your body is telling you you need to modify instead of beating yourself up for it, be grateful that your body is actually communicating with you. How lucky we are to have these smart bodies that know sometimes more than our minds know, right? Let's slowly lower down to our belly, either from your hands and your knees or your hands and your feet, and release your body down. From here, with your forearms down in front of you, find your Sphinx pose, lifting your heart forward as you lengthen your spine. Find length in the back of your neck and your tailbone. Engage your belly. Breathe deeply. And then we'll bend our right knee, pulling your heel towards your glute. Stay with that or anchor your left forearm down. Reach back and maybe grab hold of your right foot. Again, you could always use a strap between your hand and your foot to lengthen your arm. And see if you can drop your your right hip here. Good. Now we'll slowly lower down, switching sides. Bend your left knee, maybe reach back with your left hand, and you can stay reaching or grab hold of the foot and maybe pull the heel towards your glute. Feel free to use a prop there if you'd like. And then see if you can drop your right hip down. Good. And then we'll slowly release, coming back to our Sphinx pose, lifting your heart. And then we'll slowly lower ourselves down, pushing our palms beside our ribs. Gently lift your heart into a nice low cobra. Experiment with taking your hands up off of the mat. Lengthen your tailbone. See if you can find a little bit more engagement in the side belly. So the obliques here just start to zip up a little bit more. And then we'll slowly lower back down. Press your palms beside your ribs and gently lift again. This time, if you'd like, really press into your palms. Find a nice low cobra or a higher cobra if that feels good. And if not, keep with your Sphinx pose. So always knowing you can keep those forearms down. And then let's slowly lower ourselves back down. Take a moment. And lift again, either pressing your forearms down or your palms down, Sphinx, low cobra, high cobra, or if you'd like, you can take an upward facing dog, tops of the feet on the mat, knees lifted, reaching your heart forward as you press the palms down and back. Breathe deeply. Good, and then we'll lower ourselves all the way back down. From there, push up through your hands and your knees. And we'll bend or tuck our toes. Keep your knees bent and lift your hips up and back, but keep those knees bent. So deeply bend into your knees as you send your belly towards your thighs. Good. Now, as you start to lengthen your legs, come back forward into your variation there of a plank. Lower down to the belly, hands and knees, or hands and feet. Lift into your back bend, Sphinx, low cobra, high cobra, or upward facing dog, or slowly move through any different variations there. So you can lift into Sphinx and then slowly move into up dog or cobra. You have to stay in one variation of the back bend the whole time. And then let's slowly lower back down. Again, push up through your hands and your knees, tuck your toes. Keep those knees deeply bent as you send your hips up and back, lengthening there. Finding lots of length and space in the spine. Good. Now this time, as you start to lengthen your legs, keep your hips lifted. Finding your downward facing dog, taking a nice deep breath in. And then slowly start to tiptoe or walk your feet forward to your hands. Bend your knees there as much as you'd like. And hang heavy over your legs. Let your head go. Maybe give your head a little shake out. Breathe deeply. Let's find a halfway lift. Palms come to the shins, the thighs, or you can use a prop. You can always elevate that floor for yourself using a block or a couple stacks of wood. And then we'll slowly release back into that forward fold. Let your head go. Take the arms, reach the arms behind you. Reach through your fingertips or interlace your fingers or hook your thumbs or hold on to a strap or towel between your hands and start to send the arms away from the body. If it feels too much on your shoulders at any point, you can always release your hands to your low back or allow the arms to dangle again. Notice if you can release your head. Good, and then nice and slowly, let's release those arms back down and step your right leg back behind you. Take a moment to lower your right knee down to your mat. Double up your mat if you'd like extra padding underneath that right knee, or place a pillow or towel underneath your knee. Reaching your heart forward here. Feel free to place your hands up on a prop to elevate that floor for yourself. Take a moment. And then we'll bend our right knee, pull your heel towards your glute, actively pulling your heel towards your glute. Take a moment. Breathe. And slowly lower that right foot down, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, and start to walk your hands to the inside of that left foot, walking your hands to the long side of your mat as you turn your big toes in slightly. Take a moment in a wide-legged forward fold. Don't worry if the hands are down or if they're dangling, that's fine. You can also place your hands up on a few stacks of pillows or some blocks there for yourself to bring that floor closer to you. A nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good. And then start to walk your hands back towards your left foot. Turn your left toes to face the front of the mat. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot. And again, lower that back knee down to your mat. Feel free to pad up that back knee. Now stay with that or bend your right knee, heel towards the glute, lifting your left arm up towards the ceiling, taking a spinal twist. Breathing here, still actively pulling that left knee towards your glute, right heel towards your glute. Now stay with that or reach back and reach towards your foot, or if it's available, grab your foot and gently pull it towards your body. Only move into available space as you broaden through your chest here. And then we'll slowly release that foot, release your left hand back down to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and take your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Hanging nice and heavy over your legs. The mailman just dropped off the parcel. Sorry if my dog barks. Let your head go here. All right, let's step our left leg back behind us, lowering that left knee down to your mat. Double up your mat if you like that extra padding underneath your knee. Right knee's tracking over your toes. Now again, feel free to bring the floor closer to you by placing your hands up on a block or a chair, anything that happens to be useful to you. Take a moment. And then when you're ready, we'll bend that back knee, pulling the heel towards the glute. Let that be really active. So really thinking of as if someone's got a string on the back of your heel, pulling it towards your glute. Feeling that length in your left hip flexor. Breathe deeply. And then we'll slowly release that left foot back down. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Take your hands to the inside of your right leg. Walk towards the long side of your mat. Turn your toes towards the long side of your mat. Pigeon toe your big toes in slightly. And allow yourself to release into a wide-legged forward fold here, either with the hands up on an elevated surface or with the arms dangling, or you can place your hands down here. Take a moment. Good, and then we'll slowly start to walk towards that right leg. Turn your right toes to face the front of the mat. Pivot onto the ball of that back foot and lower your back knee down. Breathing here, pad up your knee if you'd like that extra padding, and then bend that back knee, heel towards your glute. Reach your heart forward, and then with our left fingertips or palm down, reach your right arm up, take a twist. Reaching through the fingertips, and that left hand can be up on a prop if that floor feels far away. And then we'll reach our right arm back towards the back there. And maybe you continue to reach towards that foot, or if you have it, you can grab hold of that foot and pull your heel towards your glute. Allow your chest to open up here. Breathing. And then as we release that back foot, reach that right arm back up and over to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Take your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Hanging nice and heavy over your legs. Let your head go. Maybe give it a little shake out. And find your halfway lift. Palms come to the shins, the thighs are prop, reaching your heart forward. As you exhale, fold. On an inhale, sweep the arms up, and we will come to stand at the front of our mat. Hands come to heart center. So standing at the front of your mat, you can take your Tadasana, mountain pose, big toes touching, heels a sliver apart, or you can take your feet wider if that feels more substantial for you. Grounding down, take a nice inhale, guide the arms up, lengthen through your spine. Connecting through your palms, gently bow forward over your legs. Much of a bend into your knees there as you like. Find your palms to your shins. Lengthen your spine here. Root your palms down. Step your feet back to your plank pose. Hold your plank for a moment. Really give yourself a moment to establish your plank. Lengthen your tailbone. Breathe. Good, and then lower down to the belly, hands and knees, hands and feet, or if you practice Chaturanga, you can go ahead and then lift into your back bend, Sphinx, low cobra, high cobra, or upward facing dog, tops of the feet on the mat, knees lifted. And then we'll breathe our way back into downward facing dog. Either lift your hips up right away or lower down to the belly, push up through the hands and knees, tuck the toes, and then find your downward facing dog. However you'd like to get there, your transition, your journey. Find a broadening in your upper back. Good. And then nice and slowly take an inhale, lift up onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees, tiptoe walk or give yourself a little hop forward to your hands. Hang heavy over your legs, find your palms to your shins, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, fold and step your right leg back behind you, lower your right knee down to the mat. Organize yourself there. You may want to pad up that back knee. Right fingertips are palm down, left arm lifts up towards the ceiling as we bend that back knee, pulling your heel towards your glutes. Stay there or reach back and maybe grab hold of that back foot. Breathe. And then come back, releasing that back foot. Release your hand to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, step your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Stepping your left leg back behind you, lowering your left knee down to the mat. Feel free to double up your mat there. Give yourself as much padding as you like. Lifting that top arm up, bending that back knee, and maybe reach back and grab that foot or continue to reach. That's enough. Breathe, open up the chest. Slowly begin to release. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Take your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Hang heavy over your legs. Find your palms to your shins, lengthen your spine. Then we'll root our palms down, step our feet back to a plank. Lowering down, hands and knees, hands and feet, or Chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart, your back bend. And then find your way back to downward facing dog. Either lower to the belly, push up through the hands and knees, or lift up right away into your down dog. Taking some time, noticing the breath. Moment of gratitude. There's breath moving through our body. Inhale, lift up onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees, and either tiptoe walk or give yourself that little hop forward to your hands. Hanging heavy over your legs, find your palms to your shins and lengthen your spine. As you exhale, fold. Take an inhale here, sweep the arms up to stand. And exhale, revisiting your Tadasana, mountain pose. Grounding down through your feet, take a nice inhale, guide the arms up. As you exhale, connect the palms and bow forward over your legs. From here, find your palms to your shins and lengthen your spine. As you exhale, fold and step your right leg back behind you. Now let's stay up on the ball of your right foot. Feel free to revisit where we once were, lowering that right knee down if that feels better for you today. Feel free to place your hands up on an elevated surface or top. Breathing here. Lifting our torsos up into Crescent Lunge. So you can come to your side first, or lift the arms up right away. Soften the shoulders on the back body and stay really active through that back leg. Breathing here, let's take our hands behind us and either again continue to reach through your fingertips or find that interlace or hold on to a prop between your hands. Gently lifting the arms away from your body. We'll take a bend into that back knee. That back knee is hovering up off of the mat as we reach our arms back, opening up through the chest. Breathing. Good. Now, as we release our hands, we'll take our hands down to frame our front foot. We'll lengthen our back leg and our front leg, lifting up here. Let your head go, and again, your hands can be up on a prop, and that front leg doesn't need to be visually completely straight, just working towards that direction. Then we'll bend back into that front knee. We'll take our right arm forward, up and back, and we'll pivot our back foot flat to anchor ourselves into a warrior two. Heel to arch alignment, so front heel lines up with the back arch as your ribs line up with your hips and your shoulders rest on the back body. Flipping that front palm up, let's reverse our warrior, lifting up and back. Very little weight in that back hand and soften your top shoulder. Now, as we come back through to warrior two, straighten your front leg. Feel stable in your legs, so you may want to shorten your stance a little bit as we work through a variation of Trikonasana. So from here, we'll start to send our hips back, reaching our left arm forward, and then we'll reach our left arm back. Try to keep lots of length in that left arm, and we'll reach our right arm forward and up. So it may be here today, that's okay, or you may continue to reach as if your fingers are pulling to the opposite direction. Breathing, take a moment, try to keep length in that left side waist. Steady gaze point. Try to keep your chest open. And then we'll press through our feet. We'll bring ourselves back through the center. Bend back into that front knee. Reverse your warrior, lifting up and back. And as you come through center, cartwheel your hands down. Pivot onto the ball of your back foot and step your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Hang nice and heavy over your legs. Maybe give your hips a little shake. Good, and then we'll step our left leg back behind us, landing on the ball of that left foot. Organize yourself as you see fit. You may want to lower that back knee down. You may want to place your hands up on a prop here. Reaching your heart forward. Set up for your crescent lunge. So you may want to come up to the thigh first or use a chair for support or lift your torso up right away into your crescent lunge. Stabilize here. Press that front heel down. A little bit lighter on your toes than opposed to your heel. And then send your hands back, reaching your fingertips back. Continue with that. Or if you've got it, you can take the hands together or interlace your fingers or use a strap or towel here. Open up your chest. As we reach the hands away from our body, take a bend into that back knee. That back knee is hovering up off of the mat. Continue to open up your chest. Now, as we release the hands, we'll take the hands to frame our front foot. We'll lift our hips up, lengthening both legs here. And again, hands can be up on a prop. That floor can sometimes feel very far away in these standing forward folds. Start to think about sending your right hip back in space. We're working towards squaring up our hips just a little bit more. Good, now we'll bend back into that supporting leg, lifting for warrior two. Take your left arm forward, up and back, pivoting your back foot flat. Set up your warrior two with your front heel in line with your back arch. Shoulders on the back body. Breathing as we lift out of our waist. And we'll reverse our warrior. Flip that front palm up, lifting up and back. Very little weight in that back hand. Soften your top shoulder, lengthening both side weight. Now we'll come back through to warrior two and set up for that Trikonasana variation. So straighten your front leg, shorten your stance if you'd like. I tend to, I just feel a little bit more grounded. And then we'll reach our right arm forward as we send our hips back in space. And then start to take that front arm, that right arm, and reach your right fingertips back as your left arm reaches forward. I'm just going to turn to face you. You can stay where you are. So there's this opposition here. You may want to stay up a little further up, or if you're comfortable, you can come down a little bit more in your Trikonasana, but we want the front body facing me, so facing forward. Lots of length in both side legs. So if you notice you're sort of curling into it, that's fine. Just bring yourself up a little bit more so you can find that open front of your body. Take another breath. Press through your feet, bring yourself back up through the center, then back into that front knee, reverse your warrior, lifting up and back. A little refreshing reverse there. And then we'll come back through to warrior two. We'll cartwheel our hands down, pivot onto the ball of the back foot, and step your back foot forward to meet your front foot, hanging nice and heavy over your legs. Let your head go, maybe give your head a little shake. Find a halfway lift, palms come to your shins, your thighs, or prop. As you exhale, fold and step your right leg back behind you. Now again, land on the ball of your right foot as we lift into our crescent lunge. Adjust or modify yourself as you see fit there. Take your hands behind you, reach through your fingertips or find that interlace. Take that bend into that back knee. That back knee is hovering up off of the mat. Breathing deeply. As you release your hands down to frame your front foot, lengthen both legs, hips lift up and back. Let your head go. Bend back into your front knee, lift your torso up into your warrior two, pivoting that back foot flat. Reverse your warrior, take that back hand back, left arm lifts up and back. Come back through to warrior two, straighten your front leg, set up for your Trikonasana. Shorten your stance if you'd like, tilt your torso forward and reach that right arm up and over. Left arm reaches back, opening up through the chest. So you might have a different experience in your Trikonasana with that bottom arm reaching the other direction as opposed to forward when we would normally be. Let's press through those feet, come back through the center, bend back into your warrior two, bending into that front knee and reverse your warrior. Now this time, come back through to warrior two, take those hands behind you, interlace your fingers, hook your thumbs, or use a strap or towel and stay up, or bow forward into humble warrior. Taking your left shoulder to the inside of that left knee. Sending the arms away from the body. If it feels too much at any point, release your hands to your low back or allow the arms to dangle. Another breath here, active through your back leg. Good. Now release your hands down to frame your front foot, pivot onto the ball of your back foot, and step your back foot forward to meet your front foot as you hang nice and heavy over your leg. Breathe. Find your halfway lift, lengthening your heart forward. And as you exhale, fold, step your left leg back behind you for your crescent lunge. Hands can stay down, and when you're ready, lift your torso up. Hands come behind you, reach through the fingertips or interlace your fingers or hook your thumbs, and maybe bend that back knee. Pulling the arms away from that back body, knee is hovering up off of the mat. You can always skip that bent knee. It doesn't need to go down. You can lengthen it if you prefer. Now, as you release your hands to frame your front foot, or hands can be on the prop, lengthen both legs as you send the hips back. Taking a breath here. Now bending back into that front knee, take your left arm forward, up and back as you pivot your back foot flat and anchor into your warrior two, heel to arch alignment. Feel free to adjust yourself to find strength in that pose. And reverse your warrior. Flip your front palm up as you lengthen up and back. Breathing into your body. Come back through to warrior two. Straighten your front leg and set up for your Trikonasana. So shorten your stance if you'd like. Tilt your torso forward. So ribs are moving forward, hips are moving back. Left arm reaches up and over. Right arm reaches back. So finding that beautiful opposition there. Good. Lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Open up the chest. Breathing deeply. Good. Now press through your feet. Bring yourself back up through the center. Bend back into your front knee. Setting up for your warrior two. Flip your front palm up. Lengthening back. Now as you come back through to your warrior two, take your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers or hook your thumbs and lift the hands away from the body. Stay with that or bow forward into your humble warrior, taking your right shoulder to the inside of your right knee. Take a moment there. Pressing through your feet, really active through that back leg. Release your hands to frame your front foot. Pivot onto the ball of your back foot and step your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Take a moment to hang nice and heavy over your legs. You may want to pedal out your knees a little bit. Breathe deeply. Good. And then nice and slowly take a generous bend to your knees. Begin at the base of your spine. Start to roll and round yourself up. And we will stand here at the front of our mat. Find the shoulders on the back body. Breathe down through to your feet. Find a nice steady point to focus your gaze on. And just slowly start to shift your weight from one foot to the other. Taking your time. And just notice how it feels to gently shift from one side of the body to the other. A gentle rocking. It can almost be a really nice way to self-soothe ourselves. We forget, even as adults, we need a little soothing at times. Just some gentle rocking. We can continue with this. There's a lot to explore here. It can be really interesting if we really pay attention. Or if you'd like, just start to anchor your weight into your left foot and lighten up on your right foot. And you can let that right foot touch down at any point. You can hold onto a wall or a table. If you'd like, bend that right knee. And you can stay with this, hands to heart center, and maybe start to pull your right leg back. You can stay with that or reach back and grab hold of that right foot and start to press your foot into your hand. Left hand to chest. Maybe lift that left arm up. Moving into a dancer's pose. You can take a strap or towel and extend the length of your arms there if you'd like. I'm just going to use my sock today because it's nice and soft. You could just give yourself a little bit more of a lift if the leg feels far away from the hand there. Take another moment. And then nice and slowly release back down. Move right away into that gentle rock. As you feel your feet planted down, just gently shift from one side of your body to the other. Nice and easy. Stay with that or start to anchor your weight into your right foot. Lighten up on your left foot. Let that left foot touch down at any point. If you'd like, bend that left knee. And maybe you want to stay here, start to pull that left leg back, opening up here, or reach back and grab that left foot with your left hand, right hand to chest. Moving into your dancer's pose, maybe lift that right arm up. Feel free to use a prop. Feel free to hold onto a wall or a table or a chair. Breathe. And then nice and slowly, let's start to come back down, move right into that gentle rocking. Let this gentle swaying, this gentle rocking in your body also be reflected in the breath. And then when you're ready, on an exhale, drop your head. Drop your shoulders. You may want to continue to rock, or you can let go of that rocking. I like to gently add that in as I roll down the spine. Letting the torso hang nice and heavy here. See if you can keep the quality of that breath nice and slow. And find your way down to your belly. So take your time. Come down with care. Once you find yourself down, let your forehead rest on the backs of your hands, or you can turn your head to the side if you prefer. And just rest your body down. Good. And from here, let's reach our arms back behind us. Reach through your fingertips, or again, you can find that interlace or hold on to a strap or towel. Pull the arms back as you gently lift the chest. Stay with that, or gently lift the leg. Shalabhasana. Engage your belly. See if you can find support for your low back. Not forcing, not pushing. Breathing into what is there and being grateful for what is there. And nice and slowly lower down. Let your forehead rest, or turn your head to the other side. Just take a moment. Feel free to rest here or lift again. Moving into Dhanurasana this time, feel free to skip it. Reaching your arms back, either find that interlace or continue to reach. Maybe lift the chest, maybe lift the leg. If you want to move into Dhanurasana, bend your knees, reach back and maybe grab hold of your feet. Start to press the feet into the hands as you open up through the chest. Find lots of space. Soften your jaw. Good. And then we'll slowly lower back down. Let your forehead rest, or turn your head to the side. And take a few windshield wipers for your feet, rocking your feet from side to side. Good. And you will let that settle here. Take your arms into cactus beside you, elbows bent, palms down, and just turn your head to the side. And then from there, we'll bend our right knee and we'll pull our right knee up towards our right elbow, flexing the foot. So very similar to what we did in our tabletop position, but here a different relationship to gravity, a little bit more or a lot more restorative. Breathing your body down. Good. Let's release to switch sides. So bend your left knee, pull your left knee up towards your left elbow, and you can turn your head to the other side. Good, and then we'll nice and slowly come back up through the center. Push up through your hands and your knees. Tuck your toes and lift up and back into a downward facing dog, or feel free to take a child's pose, any resting pose you'd like to take there. Now we'll slowly move into a pigeon pose. So if it doesn't support your body today, I'll give alternates as we move into the pose. But we'll begin here, pulling your right knee towards your right wrist, lowering that right leg down, lowering your left knee down to the mat, and then start to extend your left leg back. Feel free to stay upright here or come down to your forearms or onto a prop. You can always bring that floor closer to you. If you'd like, you can fold forward. If you want to prop up that back hip with a pillow or a towel, go ahead and place that underneath your right hip to keep those hips squared off. And feel free to modify if pigeon doesn't work for you today. You could take a deer pose, so bending that back knee as you sit up. Knees are in line with ankles and you can stay upright, or you can gently come forward into a forward fold, or you can take a figure four, taking your right ankle on your left side, bending your right knee. And you can stay with that, or you can come down to your back, take a thread the needle on your back, either with that left foot down or pull that left leg in towards your body. So just finding a hip opener. Don't worry about which variation of the pose you're in. A modification is not taking the idea of like an easier pose or something simpler or less advanced. It's quite the opposite. Taking a modification is a really advanced practice. It means we're really tuning into our bodies and exploring what our bodies need. And that's the point of this practice, not seeing a pose in a magazine and copying it exactly. Having that autonomy over our bodies to know what's right and to be able to move into that. Take another deep breath here. And then we'll come on up and we'll switch sides. So if you were in another variation, you can move to the other side. If you were in pigeon, tuck your back toes, lift your front knee and take your front leg to meet your back leg in a downward facing dog. Jumbled my words there a little bit, but I think you got the picture. Let's pull that left knee towards your wrist, lower that left leg down, lower your right knee down, scoot your right leg back, and feel free to stay up or come forward. You can place your hands or forearms on a prop if you'd like, and feel free to place a rolled up towel or pillow underneath your left hip for a little bit more support there. Really encourage that. It's really a really great way to use your prop. Or if you'd like, you can take a deer pose on this side, bending your knees into 90-90, staying up or folding forward. Or figure four, taking your left ankle on your right side, staying upright or coming down to your forearms. Or if you'd like, you can take thread the needle coming down to your back and maybe lifting that right leg up, maybe keeping it down, depending on where you'd like to be today. Anchoring into the awareness of your breath and your body breathing. Soften where you can, maybe the shoulders, maybe the muscles of your face. Good, and then nice and slowly, let's come on up. And we'll come to sit here. So if you are in another variation, just come on up in the easiest way possible. If you are in pigeon, just scoot your back leg forward and we'll come up to sit. Sitting up really nice and tall so you can roll up a pillow, roll up a towel or the back of your mat or place a pillow underneath your bottom and open up your legs nice and wide to the side. Lifting out of your waist, just slowly start to turn your body towards your right leg. You can stay up or a nice, gentle release over that leg. So here, we're not going to reach towards or reach. I just want us to slowly melt and settle. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Come back up to center. Walk towards your left leg. Stay up or slowly settle and melt over the leg. And some nice deep breath. As opposed to reaching, I just love us to find that settling. Nice deep breath in and out. Come on back up through the center and nice and slowly start to walk your hands forward just to the degree that's available. You can always stay further upright. And once you're there, take a nice deep breath in and out. And in and out. Slowly walk yourself back up. Scoot your legs forward, bend your knees there. Come on down to your back. Take a moment to hug your knees into your chest. Give your knees a good squeeze. You may even want to curl your forehead up towards your knees, giving yourself a nice little hug towards center. And then slowly begin to release. Arms into a nice wide T position beside you. Drop your knees over to the left, hip shift to the right, keeping your knees stacked here, or you can cross your top knee over your bottom knee, letting both shoulders settle nice and heavy. Notice if you're holding the body and see if you can just surrender. Nice deep breath in and out. And in and out. Come back through center. Shift to the other side. Hips shift to the left, knees drop to the right. Both shoulders fall heavy. Keep the knees back or cross the top knee over your bottom knee. And just offer your body the opportunity to release without having to hold it. Nice deep breath in. Exhaling, settling a little bit more. Nice deep breath in and out. Come back through center and prepare for your final posture, Shavasana. So if there are any socks or sweaters you'd like to put on, go ahead. Any sips of water or final movements you would like to take, feel free. And then find the most comfortable position for your body to rest in today. Perhaps a corpse pose, legs extended, arms extended, eyes closed. Or Supta Baddha Konasana, taking the soles of your feet together, knees open to the side. Or take the soles of your feet to the outside of your yoga mat, knees fall in at center. Or feel free to lie on your side or your belly, or get cozy in a chair. Just releasing the weight of your body down. Comfortable, you can allow the eyes to softly close. Relaxing your toes and your feet, your legs and your hips, your belly and your chest, your shoulders and your arms, your hands and your fingers, releasing some tension in your neck, your jaw, the space between your eyebrows, your forehead, and rest. Breathe in, know you're breathing in. Breathe out, know you're breathing out. Just this. And slowly begin to bring that greater awareness to your body and the space around you. Perhaps invite your breath to deepen, or invite a little bit of movement back to your body. Maybe wiggle your fingers, your toes. Take a great big stretch, maybe even a yawn. And from there, in the easiest way possible, gently bring yourself up to a nice, comfortable seated position. And we will end our practice together today. Once you're there, if you like, maybe even finding that gentle rocking for a moment. Notice how even just that gentle rocking, that gentle swaying can drop us into our bodies here and now. Remind yourself as often as you can to come back into the body whenever we're distracted, whenever we're overwhelmed, using the body as a tool to calm our bodies, to calm our minds. Bring your hands to heart center, bow the head in appreciation for your body. And thank yourself for taking the time to practice today. And I thank you for sharing your practice with me. Stay well. Well, thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure to be with you. And again, you can feel free to ask any questions or share if you need to. I'll try to catch the chat. And otherwise, thanks for joining me. And if I don't see you on Friday, have a wonderful holiday and take care of yourselves.